Home with Zane. Welcome back. Today I wanted to share with you some of the items that I'm going to be utilizing to revamp our kitchen hutch in our kitchen. Many of you have seen that, and I will of course show you the finished product. But one of the key factors in redoing this area is that all of these items that I have out here today are all items that I already had. And as a matter of fact, they were all items that I already had that were in boxes in our basement. So when the Christmas came down in our kitchen, I said it is now time for me to revamp this area. So I'm gonna have to go out and purchase some new things because I don't really have anything for it. You know, I need all new stuff now. Well, as I started thinking about it more and more, I started thinking, I know I have some pieces that I really have always loved, and I'm gonna take a look and see what I have first. Now, I always encourage people to shop your own home, and I know many of you do, and I know that many people out there promote that. But this is a case in point in why that is so important. And I know a lot of people right now are doing videos where they're purging, and I agree. I think it's wonderful to get rid of things that you're not using. Number one, get rid of it if it's not something that you need. Get rid of it if it's not something that you're using, because the odds are, if you aren't using it, you're not gonna know where it's at when you need it. So go ahead and get rid of it. But this was a box of stuff I had that I intended to donate at some point, and I was going to go through it. So when I started going through the box, I realized that I had some very expensive pieces that I'm going to use in this revamping of this hutch that's going to save me a lot of time and money. So first off, I have this vintage crock, which I picked up in an antique mall, and as you can see, it had the holes in the sides for the handle, which is missing. But as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh my goodness, I remember paying a decent amount of money for this, and it's sitting in a box, and here I am thinking I need to go out and buy something new, and I've got a piece that I can use. So this is going to be used in my display. I also have this artificial farmhouse wooden box with this artificial greenery plant. Now, when I purchased this, there's no tag on the bottom of it, but if I recall correctly, I believe I paid $20 for this. This was sitting in a box that I was going to donate. Now, if I wasn't using it any longer, that makes sense. But before I run out and buy a whole bunch of new products and items for my display, why not use this $20 piece that I already have? It has the wooden box, and fits into my Farmhouse Decor, so I'm going to use that as well. The next thing is I have this wire gathering basket. Now, I know that I paid not a ton of money for it, but it was probably a pretty decent amount of money when I bought it. I've had it for several years. This was in that box, so I know I'm going to use this in part of my display as well. And here I was, having it in a box I was going to pitch, and not even thinking about going through that box ever again. I also have this small plant that I'm going to use. I'll incorporate that somehow. For now, I'm just going to stick it in here because I need to clear some space. Then I have, which we all have seen, they're very popular. These are not vintage, but I think I purchased these probably at Marshall's or Home Goods. But this coffee, tea, and sugar, they represent the enamel vintage canister set. I have these that were sitting down there in that box as well that I'm going to use in my display. I also have this sign, which I know that I paid a really decent amount of money for this because I bought it at a store that strictly sells primitive items. Now, there could be a rendition of this out there somewhere, and maybe somebody's found it for less, but I know I paid quite a bit for this whenever I bought it, and so it was in that box, and I was getting ready to just give it away, and I would have gone out and just bought a new picture. But this actually works out very, very well for my new space. And then my last few pieces here, one of them is my little hen here. Again, she is something that I got in an antique mall, and she has her little chickling here on the side and in this nest, and it's very farmhouse, and I stuck it in a box and was never going to use it again. So I ran across this, and I'm going to use this in my space to revamp it as well. The last two items are something that I can't believe I even put in that box to donate, because I paid quite a bit of money for these. They are a pair of roosters on these pedestals. And this one, I paid $34 for. It's upside down, but as you can see, $34. And this one, I paid $24 for. And I stuck them in this box and was going to just retire them in my mind. And these are beautiful. So here I am thinking I need to go out and buy a whole bunch of new stuff so that I can redo my kitchen hutch, and I have all these wonderful items that are in boxes in my basement. So 2 points to be made here. One is stay tuned, because I'm going to share with you whenever I redo my kitchen hutch and what I've done with all of these products. So stay tuned for that video in the future. But secondly, while you're going through and you're purging things this year, think about some of the items that you have, or think about items that you haven't even considered looking at, and see if it's something that you can use in a space that you want to revamp this year. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave your comments below. Visit my website, www.AtHomeWithZane.com. We'll look for you the next time. And remember, it's your home. Create a space you'll truly love.